The thing that has stood out the most to me about the whole Martha's Vineyard situation is not that DeSantis and Abbott thought that they could do it. It's not the fact that they just engaged in human trafficking to own the libs. It's not the images that are evoked by fascists lying to a group of people to get them onto transportation to send them elsewhere, or even the reassurance necessarily that DeSantis was proven wrong and that the people of Martha's Vineyard in fact banded together to help these people. It's the way that conservatives have responded to that fact. This whole stunt was orchestrated by DeSantis to prove that everyone else is just as awful as people like him. That if you dumped a boatload of migrants at the doorsteps of these rich liberals up in Martha's Vineyard, they would be just as appalled and xenophobic as the people down in the border states like Florida, which doesn't border anybody, but hey, whatever, a core component of American fascism is a disgust and disdain for migrants crossing the southern border, so you do what you gotta do. Incidentally, these were all legal asylum seekers, so the whole, oh, I don't care how they get here as long as they do it properly, obviously that doesn't count either. But when this hypothesis was proven false, when the people of Martha's Vineyard banded together to help these people out of basic human decency, conservatives and regressives and fascists have just pretended that they didn't, because a core component of their ideology, their belief structure, is that everyone else is just as callous and awful as they are, that no one actually really believes in anything, and that everything is just a pursuit of power. Because that is true for them. They don't believe in anything, they only want more power. And so they project that belief onto their political opponents. You look through this lens, they are constantly trying to prove that liberals in the United States behave and think exactly the same way that they do. They don't actually care about anything, they are just lying about all of these social justice issues to try and manipulate people into gaining more power. And when they are provided with evidence that that is not true, that no, in fact, they are uniquely bereft of human decency and empathy, they simply reject that evidence. They reject your reality and substitute their own. Because what does it say about the conservative or the regressive if their fellow human beings are capable of empathy and decency and actually genuinely care about the people around them, and they are fundamentally incapable of doing that? To actually acknowledge that might elicit some self-reflection, which is something they cannot do. Their beliefs are not based in fact or reality. They are instead an entirely emotional affair. And you cannot reason somebody out of that. You cannot prove that they are wrong in that belief, as evidenced by this entire fucking fiasco.